Hey, everybody, welcome to the final week of ENG107 and our very last weekly walkthrough. Not a lot of work to do this week, thankfully, for you. No formal writing assignment or anything like that, but I do want to quickly walk through the week with you, make sure you know about changed deadlines and things like that, because the last week is a little bit different than all the other weeks. So we have to have grades turned in on next Sunday. Therefore, instead of having things due on Sunday night, things are due on Friday. So you're going to need to submit all of this week's work and any late work by the end of the day on Friday. If for some reason you absolutely, there's something that you need to do on Saturday, please reach out to me by email and let me know, and I will agree with you what time we can get it, but it has to be Saturday. We cannot, no work will be accepted on Sunday. So just kind of keep that in mind. Because of that updated deadline, instead of having to reply to 2 people on this week's discussion board, you only have to reply to 1. So that will help a little bit with the management of time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the content, because there is content again this week. And there are 2 discussion boards, only one of which involves an actual grade. So I want to make sure you know which one to do first, and to make sure that you do the one response to another person, because that one is the one that has grade on it. And occasionally I get people who really work hard on the other one, and I love it. It's a great discussion board and it's wonderful, but it doesn't get you a grade. So if you don't do the one that's graded, that's a problem. So let's go to Unit 8. The theme, of course, this week is reflection, and that's essentially what we're doing, is reflecting on what you've learned. Okay. Readings and resources, do check them out. As usual, we have some things for you. One article to read about journaling. Many of you have indicated that you enjoyed the journaling aspect of the class. So journaling, of course, is something that you can use beyond ENG 107. And then we have some supplemental resources, one about subjective versus objective voice. And this is something I've talked about with you guys before, how to avoid writing in first person when you are writing for academic purposes. So that's a good one to check out. There's also a video about annotation, and when you are reading for school, annotating or taking notes is super important. So check that one out. And then finally, of course, we have a video with the lovely and talented Mike Wazowski on keeping our eyes on the prize. So check those out for this week. 2 graded assignments, the discussion board, that is the first one here, and the journal. So in the Unit 8 discussion board, this is the one that is graded. That's why it's called Unit 8. Like, that should be kind of a signal to you that this is an official assignment. You're going to focus on your own journey. How has your confidence level in your writing skills changed over the last 8 weeks? How has your ability to write about different topics changed, your perspectives on the world? And what have the journals you completed in the course taught you about the world and yourself? Aim for, as always, at least 6 sentences, a well-developed paragraph. And then remember, you only need to respond to one of your peers by Friday, but it has to be by Friday, explaining how you can relate to their experiences and so on and so forth. Okay. The Unit 8 journal is about digital literacy, which is something, of course, we've been talking about for a while. The question that you want to answer is, you were introduced to digital literacy in Unit 7. Give one personal example of when you were a good digital citizen, and one personal example of where you were confused or upset by something you saw online. Again, these should be experiences. This is the opportunity to write in first person. An example that I might give of being a good digital citizen would be something like, I have seen some of my friends who've posted something online being bullied, people attacking them for what they've said, and being a good digital citizen means defending them and going on and saying something positive in order to counteract all the negativity. So that might be something that's good. And of course, the example of finding something upsetting is a lot of times that is looking at what people have written. And sometimes it's not a friend of yours, sometimes it's a total stranger, but you see what people write in comments on even on news stories. So you think, what is wrong with these people? So there's a lot of good examples that you could use for that. Then we have one final discussion, and it is the course reflection. After having the opportunity to complete the course, what would you change and why? What topic particularly caught your interest, and what do you want to know about more about? Last but not least, and this is my favorite part of this one, if you could share with the next class one piece of advice about this class, what would it be? Please note that this pertains to the class, the materials, how it flows, the organization, that kind of stuff. And again, that one's not graded, but I love this one. I love reading people's responses on this, especially the advice they would have for others. So please enjoy the final week. If you've got any questions, let me know. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, every single thing that you are going to get a grade for should be done by Friday. There you go. If you do need to reach out though, please do let me know what's going on. And like I said, I could accept some things on Saturday. As long as I know that they're coming on Saturday, it's fine, but I do need you to reach out by email and let's have a conversation about it. All right. All right, everybody, take care and best of luck in in term 6, which starts Monday. So it's going to be here in a week, but take care, everybody. Have a great week, and I will hopefully see you again.